Yes, guys. In yesterday's class, we have got a lot of clarity on what? POSO class, POSI, Bean class or component class, right? Bean class or component class. In single line statement, what is the guys? Java bean means what? Java class acting as a data carrier having with the setter method and what? Getter methods. POSO class, an ordinary Java class supporting portability across the multiple Java projects. POSI, an ordinary Java interface supporting portability across the multiple Java projects. Component or bean class, guys. What guys? Component class or bean class. Okay, class having state, behavior with reusability can be developed as POSO class or non-POSO class. What is component class or bean class, guys? It's a class having state and behavior, and state will be used inside the behavior while writing what? Reusable business logic. I think you got the clarity, guys. Come on. So shall we get into today's discussion, boss? Instead of screen, it shows my face. I think you have not taken correct screen settings. Everyone able to see my screen properly, guys? Everything okay, boss? Yes, guys. Now listen. Spring Bean class. Spring Bean class. The Java class. Okay, the Java class whose object is created and managed by Spring containers. Spring containers whose object is created and managed by Spring containers. Part of Spring framework. Spring containers are part of Spring framework. Is called Spring Bean. Okay. That means the whole life cycle of Spring Bean class will be taken care by Spring containers. What do you mean by life cycle, guys? All the activities from birth to depth. Loading Spring Bean class, creating object for it, managing object for it. If needed, destroying that object. Every aspect is taken care by whom, guys? Every aspect is taken care by whom, guys? Spring container, right? Okay. Every activity, every aspect is taken care by Spring containers. So such classes are called Spring Beans. Okay, now listen carefully. Container is also one software program, guys, who can manage end-to-end activities of any class. That means whole life cycle of any class. When to load the class, how to load the class, how to create object, how to manage object, how to destroy object, everything will be decided by container. Got the point or not? So how servlet container, JSP containers are there. Similarly, in Spring framework, we are having Spring supplied containers. Spring supplied containers are nowhere related to servlet JSP container. They are for different purpose. These are for different purpose. In a simple way, I will say one thing, guys. Container is like an aquarium. Okay. Okay. Component managed by container, classes managed by container are like fishes. Once we drop the fish into aquarium, everything of the fish will be taken care by aquarium or not. Providing water, providing food, providing ventilation, providing oxygen, everything will be taken care by aquarium or not. Okay. Even lakes, rivers, oceans also some kind of aquariums only. They are also some kind of aquariums. Are you getting my point there or not there? Everyone convinced with me, guys? Come on. Okay, guys. A container is a software program that manages okay whole life cycle of given resource nothing but class. That means takes care of all the activities from birth to death. From what, guys? Birth to death. Nothing but okay. Object creation to object destruction. Object creation to object destruction. Now listen. Container is like an aquarium. Okay. Taking care of okay fishes called components or resources or classes. Okay, guys. Aquarium taking care of fishes called components or resources or classes, guys. Yeah, all are one and the same, boss. Okay. Servlet container takes care of the servlet component life cycle. Okay. IOC, okay. JSP container takes care of JSP components life cycle. Okay, the JSP component life cycle. Next, Spring containers takes care of Spring beans life cycle. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Not. Spring containers are no way related to servlet container and JSP container. Servlet container and JSP container. In fact, Spring containers are not alternate for Spring containers are not alternate for, come on, servlet container, JSP container. Everyone got the clarity, guys? Okay. Lots of people think that Spring containers are given as alternate to servlet JSP containers. No, they are for a different purpose. These are for a different purpose. Servlet JSP containers can be used only in web application environment. Spring containers are such a container. They can be used in standalone environment, web application environment, distributed environment. Everywhere we can use it. Come on. Okay. So don't confuse your guys. Don't confuse yourself. Right. Okay. Spring framework gives two built-in containers, guys. Two built-in Spring containers. Number one, bean factory container. Are you understanding my point? Yeah, for all modules, these are the common containers, boss. These are the standard containers. Spring container, these two containers only. Basic container, guys. Okay. Number two, application context container. Yeah, today this terminology looks different. After a few days, you will be habituated. Advanced container. Okay, now listen. Application context container is equal to bean factory container plus plus. That means it is extension of bean factory container. It will have everything of bean factory, but on the top of some additional features are there. What are those additional features? Today you don't break your head. Okay, today you don't break your head. Understanding my statement, guys? This is just a launch. Bean factory container. If it is a small circle, bean factory container is a small circle, then you can say another circle surrounding bean factory container is application context container. Everyone getting my point, guys? Come on. Okay, now listen carefully. But we are assembled here for Spring Bean. Don't forget that. We assembled here for Spring Bean concept. Don't forget that. Okay. Spring Bean class can be a user-defined class. User-defined class or predefined class. Okay. Or third-party supplied class. Supplied Java class. Okay. But it's life cycle management. That means object creation to object destruction must be done by Spring containers. That's concept. So it can be any class, guys. Are you getting my point? Condition is only one thing. Object creation of Spring Bean, object management, object destruction, everything should be taken care by Spring container. It can be predefined class or user-defined class or anything. Okay. Spring Bean class can be developed as POSO class or non-POSO class. Your choice. It can be developed as POSO class or non-POSO class, but POSO class is recommended. We prefer POSO class, guys. POSO class is recommended. If you say, I will take non-POSO class as Spring Bean, it never says no to you. It never says no to you. You can take, but not recommended. Come on. Spring Bean class, okay, can be a Java Bean class or component class or Bean class. Your choice, guys. In fact, any class for which object can be created, okay, can be taken as Spring Bean, but actual object creation, management, destruction should be done by whom? Spring container. The actual work should be done by whom? Spring container. Understanding my point? Okay. So literally what? Any class can become Spring Bean. Only the condition is that class loading, object creation, object management, object destruction, all these activities should be taken care by Spring container. Are you getting my point there or not there? Come on. Okay. Right. Most of the time we prefer working with POSO class. Most of the time we prefer developing Spring Bean as POSO class. Are you getting my point, guys? But you can take any class as Spring Bean. Okay. So generally, we will not take abstract classes, interfaces as the Spring Beans. Generally, we will not take abstract classes, interfaces as the Spring Beans. Are you listening my statement, boss? Come on. Are you with me? We will not take Okay, Mr. Maheshwar, in future we are going to do that work. How could we know? Means when we start doing programming, definitely we don't create object. Come on, as Spring Beans, because they cannot be instantiated. Okay, they cannot be instantiated. That means object creation is not possible. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Come on. Right. Okay. To make Java class as Spring Bean class. To make Java class as Spring Bean class. And to make Java class as Spring Bean class. We need to use bean tag in XML file. Bean tag in XML file, guys. Come on. Or @component annotation. Or @component annotation. Listen, guys, we can give instruction to Spring container in two ways. One is using XML file, other one is using annotation. Okay, in the process of giving instruction to Spring container, and you want to tell this class is not a ordinary class, you should treat it as a Spring Bean. That means you should only load the class, you should only create object, you should only manage object, you should only destroy the object whenever need is there. Come on. So if you are giving those instructions through XML, you have to use bean tag to write the details about that class. What are those details? We will discuss later. Come on. What are those details? We will discuss later. Are you understanding my point? If it is an annotation based instruction, you have to use @component annotation. Other extension annotations are there, but minimum annotation that you have to add is what? @component. So these two are the instructions. Are you getting my point, guys? Come on. Okay. We can give instructions or inputs to Spring container either using XML file. That technically that file is called Spring Bean configuration file. Technically that file is called as what? Spring Bean configuration file. Are you understanding, boys? Or using annotations. Latest approach is annotation. Legacy approach is Spring Bean configuration file. Okay, what is best? Annotations is the best. Okay, guys. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Okay. Shiva, everything which I type, which I explain, which I prepared, okay, will be shared with you people. You don't write anything. Listen the class, analyze the subject, respond in the chat box. Everyone, don't waste your time, okay, writing the notes, taking the photos. Whatever I speak will be there with you. Okay, I will share some PDFs in future. I will share classroom applications as it is. I develop in front of, I will share. Some PDF will be given. Relevant documents will be given. YouTube videos will be given. Okay, it's a big process, guys. Come on. We can give instructions to, okay, our inputs to Spring container, either using XML file or using annotation. Okay, now listen, guys. I have a small class called bank service class, and I want to make it as a Spring Bean. Then what should I do? Bean ID bank service. That's a bean ID. Array, listen. Everyone getting my point? Okay. Class is equal to com dot, array package name, nt dot, beans dot. If you don't like this wording, you can take some other package name. Bank service management. Bank service management. Some class name is there. I want to make bank service management as a Spring Bean. If it is XML file, guys, using XML, array configuration means inputs. Configuration means giving details. Listen guys, while making Java class as Spring Bean, what code is there inside the class? You don't worry. It can be predefined class also, boss. It can be predefined class also. It can be user defined. It can be third party supplied class. In XML file, if you want to say this class is not an ordinary class, hey container, take it as a Spring Bean, then you have to write like this. Sir, I understood this. What is this? Package name. User defined class, no? User defined package. Anything can be there. Class name. User defined class, na any class name can be there. Understanding my point? Okay. So overall, what is this? Fully qualified Java class. Fully qualified. Fully qualified means along with the package name. Java class. Okay. To act as, to take as. Okay. Spring Bean. Sir, then what is this, sir? Bank service, Bean ID. See, for us it is Bean ID, guys, officially outside Bean ID. Internally, this becomes the name of the object whenever container creates the object. Whenever container creates the object, Bean ID becomes object name. Come on. Internally becomes Spring Bean class object name when Spring container creates the object. First of all, tell me who is responsible to load the class? Spring container. Who is responsible to create object? Spring container. When object is created, definitely there should be one reference variable pointing to that object or not. Definitely there should be one reference variable pointing to that object or not. And that reference variable name later become object name, right? Reference variable name only later becomes object name. Come on. Who is creating object? Container. With what name container creates the object? With Bean ID. With what name container creates the object? Bean ID. Are you getting my point there, guys? This is completely package, our choice package. Class is our choice, package name also our choice, right? Okay, boss. Now listen. Or, no, sir. I'm modern guy. I want to use modern concepts. Suppose we have a class. Package com.nt.beans. Package com.nt.beans. Now listen. Public class, bank service management. I don't talk things just like this. ID is not mandatory. If you don't give ID, it will take default Bean ID. Right now, don't worry about that. What is the default ID? I will talk later. But recommended to give ID. If you don't give ID, it will take what? Default Bean ID. Nothing but class name as the default Bean ID. At the rate component. At the rate component, what is this? Bank service. Okay, this time this is annotation, boss. This is XML configuration. Using XML configurations. XML configuration. Nothing much. Giving details to container. Configuration means details, guys. Giving details to Spring container using XML file and XML tags. Or XML file contains XML tags. Okay, guys. Now listen. Okay. Now listen. Giving details to Spring container. This is annotation configurations. Annotation configurations. Nothing but giving details to Spring container using Spring annotations. Using annotations. I think you got the clarity. There are lakhs of classes, boss. How does this class only has become Spring Bean? Because we are going to give instructions to container, Spring container, either by using bean tag or by using annotation. If it is a bean tag, XML instruction. If it is component annotation, this one. I think you got the clarity. Okay. Those who know Servlet. Those who know Servlet, guys. Though there are so many classes in Servlet API are developed by programmer, how does Servlet container recognize particular class as Servlet component? Why not other classes are taken as Servlet component? Because in web.xml we write information about that class or not. In web.xml we write information about that class or not. Servlet-class tag we use and there we write the details or not, boss. Okay. Don't worry. Today, these may things look new, but since we are going to use these tags and these annotations every day, they become easy. Okay. Nowadays, XML configurations are not so popular. Come on. Okay. In annotation configuration, this class name will be treated as a Spring Bean, not a normal Java class. Okay. Gives details to Spring container. Yes. Yes, container. Gives details to Spring container. Everyone got the clarity? Either this or this. I think today you got clarity about Spring Bean, na boss? Spring Bean can be anything. Only the thing is you have to tell to container, hey container, now onwards, loading class, creating object, managing object, destroying object is your responsibility. But how does container knows? There are so many classes, but how does it knows? It has to take certain class as a Spring Bean. Why not other class as Spring Bean? You should write details about that class and you have either using XML file or annotations. Okay, Spring container sees these annotation or these XML file information and try to recognize these classes as what? Spring Bean. Once it recognizes these classes as Spring Bean, okay, now then onwards, loading the class, creating object, managing object, destroying object will not be done by you. That means you never use new operator to create Spring Bean class object. You never do any garbage collection related to Spring Bean. Okay. Never load the classes of Spring Bean. Everything is taken care by Spring container. That means lot of burden is removed from you or not. Array, once you drop fish into aquarium, every day survival of the fish, management of the fish, providing water, ventilation, food for fish, oxygen for fish will be taken care by whom? So aquarium or not? Spring container is like aquarium, Spring Bean is like what? Okay, fish. But dropping the fish is your responsibility. Similarly, telling to container, this is not a normal class. I want this class as a Spring Bean. So how to tell to Spring container? Either by using bean tag or by using component annotation. Don't think too much technically. How much I am presenting, that much only you think. How to create containers or how to pass this XML file as input file to no, they are too technical today. Don't worry about it. My intention is to present this. Okay. Right, boss. Sir, I heard something. Without JVM, no class will be executed. No Java code will be executed, right? Without JVM, no class execute, no Java code executes, right? Agree with me, boss? Yes, but you are saying that Spring container will take care of everything. You are saying that what? Are Kushal, again I am saying, this class can be X class, Y class, Z class. Poso class, non-Poso class, predefined class, user-defined class, third-party supplied class. Any Java class can be taken as a Spring Bean by writing information about that class either by using bean tag or by using annotation. There is no rule. If class is a Java bean, it cannot become Spring Bean. It can be Java bean, come Spring Bean. Yes or no? It can be poso class come Spring Bean. Until you write in bean tag, it is poso class. Once you write here, it can be poso class come Spring Bean, right? That's what I think some latecomers are, I said, Spring Bean class can be developed as poso class or non-poso class. Okay, Spring Bean class can be a Java Bean class or what? Component class or Bean class. Right. Okay, understanding my statement. So what is most important thing is for that class object is created by container or not. Which container? Spring container or not. Managed by container or not. Destroyed by container or not. That is important. In that process, that can be a normal class, Java Bean, Poso class, component class, X, Y, Z. Everyone getting my point there, guys? Okay, now listen, guys. Every IOC container runs on the top of JRE or JVM. In fact, JRE contains JVM. Understanding my point? Array, by default, no class becomes automatically Spring Bean unless until we configure class details either by using bean tag or component interface. Suppose you have taken Java Bean, written its details in the bean tag, it becomes Spring Bean. On the top of class, you have written @ component annotation, becomes Spring Bean. You have taken what's okay, a Poso class. You have written details either by using bean tag or component interface, becomes Spring Bean. Everyone getting my point this? It can be any class unless until you write in bean tag, it is an original class. Once you write here, it becomes Spring Bean. Everyone got the clarity, guys? On the top of JVM, what will run? Spring container will run. Okay. Okay. Spring container, what you will do? Creates the object. What is the object name? Bank service. MGMT, management class object. What will be the name of the object, guys? Bank service. Array bean ID ra babu, bean ID. Come on. Bean ID becomes object name, right? Okay. Bean ID becomes object name. Right. Suppose you have written 10 bean tag, writing 10 class names. It will create and manage 10 objects. You have written @ component annotation on 30 classes. It will load 30 classes. It will create object of 30 classes. It will manage 30 class object. If time is there, if need is there, it will destroy also those objects. I think you got the clarity. Okay, guys. Array, Spring container runs in the JVM. That means it uses JVM memory only, na boss. It will definitely use the JVM memory. I think you got the clarity, boss. Array, Spring container is also Java code. Java code uses which memory? JVM memory of the RAM, right? JVM memory of the RAM. Okay. Now the question that eats your brain is, sir, in core Java we are happy na creating object manually, managing object manually, destroying object manually, or at least referring the null. Are you getting my point, guys? Come on. Yeah. Yeah. What is this JVM? This JRE JVM may be supplied by Eclipse, supplied by in your computer, right? Okay. Everyone, this is just introduction. We are going to learn a lot about this one in future. Stop thinking further. Concentrate on what I am presenting. Come on. Okay. See how other objects are created. This class object also created. Only the thing is we don't create. Everything is taken care by Spring container. That's it. Okay, now listen, guys. Listen. Sir, in core Java, I'm very happy with the new operator. I'm creating object manually. Why should I ask a container to do that work? What's the need? Array, core Java level, what you develop is standalone application. How many users will operate that application at a time? One user. In the execution of application, how many objects are required? Very less number of objects are required because it is a standalone application. One user try to use 1-2 services, relevant objects will be created. Yes or no, na boss? That's why manually creation of objects not a problem. But problem is, world is happy with, now listen, world is happy with, world is, do you really think world is happy with the standalone application? World is running with the standalone applications, boss? World is running with the standalone applications? No. World is looking for, world wants to deal with websites. World wants to deal with the distributed application. World wants to deal with what? Enterprise applications. What do you say, guys? World is expecting much. Okay, now tell me, you have a website. You have a website. Please, I will talk more technical details in the first application development. Today, you observe what is what. Unnecessarily, people are getting into the details. This is not launch of first application. I'm just giving idea. I request everyone, think how much I am presenting. More technical details I will give. More memory details, more technical details I will give when I start the application. Today it is just introduction of Spring Bean. Some people are trying to show their talent of memory and other things in the chat box. This is not the time. This is not the first application development. Still time is there. Today you just feel what is Spring Bean. That's enough. Okay. So shall I go back to the discussion, boss? Right, boss. Listen, guys. World is expecting websites. World is expecting distributor. Array, these distributed applications and web application will be operated by one user at a time. Lakhs of users and crores of users. Everyone, please respond. Lakhs of users. One by one simultaneously. One by one simultaneously. All these lakhs of users try to use a single class service or different classes services. Try to use single class service or different classes services. Different classes services. To use different classes services at different timings, that too 24/7, object should be created for those classes. Once usage is over, those objects should be destroyed. If I say for these lakhs of users who are operating these websites and what distribute application in the internet environment, I will create objects manually by using new operator whenever they come, whenever they request. Is it going to work out, guys? Is it going to work out, guys? Is it going to work out, guys? No, na? Okay. So we need a automation environment, right? We need an automation environment. Who's take care of loading classes dynamically, creating objects dynamically, managing objects dynamically, utilizing logics of the objects dynamically, and destroying object whenever need is over. Okay, and that automation environment is guaranteed by containers or not? And especially in distributed application and web application, definitely this automation for creating objects, managing objects is required or not required? Required or not required, boss? Definitely required. Come on. That's the reason day-to-day containers are increasing. Containers importance is increasing. I think you convinced it, boss, why container concept came into picture. To load the classes, to create the object, to manage the object, to destroy the objects in an automated environment, boss. You take Flipkart.com, guys. Sale is announced. In India, let us assume on that day, 5 crore people are using Flipkart website. Flipkart website or mobile app, whatever it is. Okay, different people purchasing different products, different people using different services. In that process, so many objects should be created, should be managed, should be used, should be destroyed. If I say all these things we will do manually by recruiting 1 lakh employees on the sale days, is it going to work out? Not going to work out. So it's better to have an automated environment taking care of everything or not. And that is nothing but container environment. That is nothing but container environment. I'll give one simple real life example to understand in a better manner. Okay. In your home, two chicken hens are there. You know hens? Okay, guys. In your home, 2 chicken hens are there. Achha, we got new backup videos, guys. Everyone please collect. I also update my list. In your home, 2 chicken hens are there. Since there are 2 numbers, guys, okay, your parents or your family member will take care of every need of those chicken hens through manual process, right? Feeding food, washing them if needed, collecting their eggs. Come on, giving small vaccination to them. Everything will be done in a manual process, right, boss? What do you say? Okay. Everything will be done through manual process. Okay. After 1 year, you decided to start a poultry farm, boss. And we decided to manage 5,000 chicken birds. How many birds? 5,000 chicken birds. Okay, that time you will try to do these activities manually, or you prefer going for automated machinery, boss? You prefer going for automated machinery, or you will try to do manually? Definitely we want automated machinery or not there. Morning 7 o'clock, automatically food will be supplied. 10 o'clock, okay, cleaning will happen. 11 o'clock, water will be supplied. Evening 3 o'clock, eggs will be collected. For all the things, switches will be there. Automation is there. So life becomes easy for the people or not? Life becomes easy for the people or not? Come on, guys. Same thing here. Standalone application, specific to one computer operated by one user at a time. Okay, so that's a manual creation of object, no automation is required. Web application, distributed application, lakhs of users will try to use lakhs of services, nothing but lakhs of classes. So manual creation of objects going to work out? No. We need some automated environment to create object, manage object, destroy object. And that is nothing but container environment. That's why while learning advanced topics, boss, we will come across containers a lot. We will come across containers a lot. I think you got a convenient reason to understand need of the containers, boss. Shall I move further? Generally, in core Java standalone applications. Okay. Okay. Right. Generally in core Java standalone applications. Come on, guys. Okay. Java applications. We we manually create objects using new operator. Okay, guys, using new operator. Because we need to create less number of objects. Okay. As standalone application is specific to one computer and will be operated by one user at a time. Okay, guys. While dealing with web applications, nothing but websites, guys. Websites, distributed applications, already introduced these terminologies. Those people who joined today, yesterday, please go through the backup videos. Enterprise applications. Okay. We will be having, okay, lakhs of users using multiple services simultaneously. So huge number of objects creation, management, okay, destruction destruction is required continuously 24/7. Continuously 24/7. Okay. For this, we take the support of containers. Okay, we take the support of containers for automating the whole process. I think whatever I spoke, that is reflecting in my statement, guys. Okay. Now, can I ask some questions? Okay. Question number 1. Every Java Bean class is a POSO class. Answer is yes or no. True or every Java Bean class is true or false? True or false? Nothing else I don't want. True. Yes, boss. Okay. Every POSO class is a Java Bean class. Every POSO class is a Java Bean class, right? True or false? False, right? Okay. Next. Spring Bean class must be a POSO class. Spring Bean class must be a POSO class. True or false? Must be a POSO class. False. It not must be. Can be a POSO class, right? Right. Spring Bean class can be a POSO class. True or false? I think you are understanding my English statements meaning, right? Okay. Okay. Third party supplied class. Third party supplied Java class can be taken as Spring Bean. Can be taken as Spring Bean. Come on. True or false? True or false? Okay. Next. All your questions should have an answer today, boss. Right. The next one. We create objects for Spring Bean classes. We create objects for Spring Bean classes. False, right? Okay, next. We create Spring container takes all the Java classes of JDK library as Spring Bean classes automatically. As Spring Bean classes automatically. Listen and tell, listen and tell, listen and tell. I don't want wrong reply. Those are giving wrong answer. They are not opening their brain. Spring container takes all Java classes of JDK library. That means core Java classes, core Java predefined classes as Spring Bean classes automatically. As Spring Bean classes automatically. True or false? False, worst fellows. False, false. Array, until we configure that class either by using bean tag or by using component annotation, how does it become Spring Bean? I know some people are in a wrong meaning. Predefined classes become Spring Beans automatically. No, 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 no. If a predefined or user defined, until you say you become Spring Bean. Until you say you become Spring Bean. Come on. It never becomes Spring Bean. How to say you become Spring Bean? Either by using XML bean tag or by using what? @ component annotation. Everyone got it? This is very important, boss. Okay. Java bean cannot be taken as Spring Bean. Cannot be taken as Spring Bean. False. It's a true. You can take, right? Okay. The idea of Spring Bean becomes Spring Bean class object internally. Come on. Internally. Okay. Next. Every Spring Bean class must be component class. Must be component class. True. Should be component class. You should have a state and behavior. Must be component class. You should have a state and behavior. No, it can be Java Bean class, it can be Pozo class, right? In fact, any class can be taken as Spring Bean. False. Component class can be taken as Spring Bean class. True or false? Array, one thing you remember, Babu. One thing you remember. Okay? One thing you see. You are a good or bad, studying or not studying. If you take admission in the college, you are called as student now. You may study, you may not study, you may enjoy, you may roam, you may murder someone, you may become terrorist, you may become Naxalite, you may become good fellow, you may become politician, but as long as you are having admission in the college, you are called as student only, right? So in fact, anyone who takes admission in the college is called student, irrespective of what you are originally, right? Similarly, irrespective of what that class is originally, if that class object is created and managed by Spring Container, because that class, because that class is configured either by using bean tag or component annotation, it is called as a Spring Bean. I think I have convinced you people, guys. When I give annotation also, I am passing bean ID here. Are you noticing it? Are you noticing it, Ranjan? Or you have to improve your observation skills? Ranjanar is asking, sorry, in annotation where you are passing bean ID. This is the bean ID. I think you enjoyed today's session, boss. You thoroughly enjoyed today's session, boss. I think no confusion about the Spring Bean. You got a lot of clarity about the Spring Bean. Come on. Okay, so someone is asking me, sir, what kind of hardware requirement I should have for practicing Spring Boot and microservices? Understanding my statement, guys? Okay. In Trilochan, in servlet, we have @web servlet annotation to make Java class as servlet. Okay. Without Hibernate, you can learn Spring, not a problem. Okay, guys. If you develop Spring Bean classes as Pozo classes, happily you can copy and paste them in another framework, not a problem. Okay. Yeah, while working with the predefined classes, annotations are possible, but process is different. Process is different. Without advanced Java, can we learn Spring Bean? You can learn, but before I launch Spring MVC, make sure that you got basic knowledge of servlet. Okay. Murali Krishna, you are not able to download my material. I think you are not using correct application. Click on it, download. Click on it, download. Got it? Hardware requirement. i5 plus, i5 and plus, and 8 GB plus. 8 GB plus, i5 plus is enough. Okay. Priya Jain, I have seen multiple mails of yours. Okay, I think you are, see, madam, I definitely understood your problem, but problem is slot has to be there. If slot is there, then we can start. Okay, so Manoj, talk to admin means definitely you can do that. So once, okay. Now, whoever write the mail regarding advanced Java batch in after office hours, for them I am giving reply, will be started, but right now slots are not there. Once slots are free, we will think about starting. Okay, guys. Kundan, in YouTube, very fundamental videos are there. Detailed videos are not there. Okay. When you are starting Hibernate new batch, I think within 20-25 sessions, I will definitely start that batch. Okay. Tomorrow, for your batch, no class is there. Next class will be on Monday. 4 p.m. batch, HTML to servlet communication is happening. Marla Srikanth, this is your first class. Welcome. Okay. This is work. I'm a working professional. Can we complete this course in 2 months? You have to attend morning and evening classes parallelly. And you have to choose me as a faculty when you want to have a detailed and depth content, boss. For that one, time should be given. Morning and evening you come parallelly, your time will be saved. Okay, right now bit edge is there for React, but at the same time Angular is not bad. If you want to pick up one, pick up React. Hibernate timings are mostly 9 a.m. Today's session is over, guys. Okay. Taking too much time to start. Okay, sir, clarity on container. Container is a software program, Java program. okay, that runs on the top of JVM, having ability to manage life cycle of other resources, nothing but other classes. Okay. JDBC knowledge is required for Hibernate. Yes, definitely required. JDBC we are planning very soon. Don't worry. Right. Today, Saturday, strength is bit less. That's why I have wind up bit early, boss. Don't worry. Next day, Monday onwards, we'll be having full-fledged sessions. Okay. In future, you'll be having sessions on Sundays also. Right now, this Sunday you don't have, but in future, you'll be having sessions on Sundays. Okay. Yeah, when batch starts, I will inform. Every new batch information I will pass. Don't worry. Okay, guys. Suresh, free advanced Java is not possible. Okay, that is not part of the plan, boss. i3 processor, 6-bin RAM. I3 will give problems, boss. Manageable, but will give problem. Okay, guys. Shaker, talk to admin. Admin will give clarity on financial terms. Hibernate any evening batch. Right now, evening slots are fully packed, guys. Once it is free, definitely evening also will start. Okay. Thank you, guys. We'll meet on Monday. Okay, Monday. Meet on Monday. Actually, today morning 1-2 sessions are not happened. So that's why strength is a bit less. But Monday onwards, you prepare for complete 1.5 hour to 1 hour 40 minutes session, guys. Right. How can we attend parallelly morning and evening to complete the course? After a few days, once you got the fundamentals of Spring and Spring Boot, I will invite you to attend morning classes parallelly. Morning, you can attend Spring REST, microservice, Spring Cloud parallelly. Evening, basics, so that you can save the time. You can save the time. Don't worry, I only share the link to you people to attend morning and evening classes. You don't know about JW. Immediately JW knowledge is not required. Before I launch Spring MVC, make sure that you got basics of Servlet JSPs. Right. Ryzen 3, I don't know what is that processor, boss. If it is equivalent to i5, go ahead with that. Okay, guys. Rutikesh, Sudhakar Sarma sir, continuously start Angular and React JS batches. Whenever in different slot, whenever you are free, you can happily attend React or Angular classes. Okay, guys. Please don't repeat the questions. Okay. Durga Prasad, definitely you will get a time, talk to admin. We are not so commercial minded people, boss. We are not so commercial minded people. And as I said, you just clear screening test, Naresh IT will take care of placement process. Okay, guys. Rakul Kumar, don't worry. I will conduct fundamentals of annotation classes and then we will start using annotation. Today, I'm just introduced. That's it. Don't worry. Okay. React is a complete dedicated course, boss. It's not sessions. Complete course. Along with you people, other student who paid only for React also will be there in that batch. Okay. It's a complete dedicated course. I think SAR will take, I think, 2.5 months to 3 months or 3.5 months. Okay. It's a complete dedicated course. It is not exclusively conducted for your people. Okay. It's more than sufficient. Unlike other institutes, okay, for free topic, we don't take limited sessions. That is also another dedicated course. Dedicated faculty will be there. Dedicated batch will be there. There will be some students, okay, who is attending only that course more exclusively. That's why no compromise in the subject. What will be the time for morning batch, REST and microservices? Lenovo, morning time is 7 a.m. and I think after 30-35 sessions, you will get REST and microservices. Okay, listen guys, it's not mandatory everyone should come for morning session. Everyone can come and attend evening. Everything happens in the evening batch. Every topic will be discussed in the evening batch. Is that clear? Okay, we have Arkrishna sir, Venkatesh sir, other faculties who can deliver excellent core Java. Right now, my slots are not there to deliver core Java, boss. But whenever need is there, I will revise core Java. I will talk about core Java, and you will get more maturity of core Java while attending advanced topics. Don't worry. Right. Thank you, guys. i3 processor, I'm thinking to add SSD. It will add. I don't know much about hardware, guys, but minimum i5 is good, but manageable with i3. Okay. Ganesh, only one course is free out of those 3 courses. You cannot take multiple free courses, boss. Thank you. Have a nice time. Because we have to also run the organization. Jeevan R. Srikanth sir is managing right now 5,000 students of multiple batches. You will get reply, but very slowly. You have to give bit time. You have to give bit time because he is the only one admin for managing 5,000 students, and most of my batches are handled by Srikanth sir. Definitely you will get reply, but it will take bit time because sometimes his phone is hanging up because of WhatsApp messages. Right. Thank you, guys. So Srikanth sir will respond to everyone, but give him time. Give him time. If any emergency, call him. No problem. Okay. He's the only admin who responds very positively to the student, but give him time. Right. That's why I have chosen him as an admin, dedicated admin for my batches. Thank you. Have a nice time.